Hey, good to see you. Are you going back and forth to the house?
What's that?
Are you going back and forth to the house, or are you just staying?
No, I'm staying here. We came last. We were gonna come this morning. We decided to come last night, even just because it's. Yeah, it's nice to have a calm morning. Yeah.
Okay, let's begin our afternoon driver media as we launch the 2011 chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup. Carl Edwards is now in the media center. He drives the number 99 Aflac Ford for Roush Fenway Racing. He comes into Chicagoland as the number 5 seed in the chase. And Carl, talk about starting out the chase here at Chicagoland, certainly a different venue than we've had in years past.
Yeah, the way I run it at New Hampshire, it's nice to start here. We seem to run really well at these 1.5 miles, and I'm still a little nervous about New Hampshire. I think our run at Richmond bodes well for us for New Hampshire and Martinsville, but our practice session went very well with our Aflac Fusion here at Chicago, and I'm excited about qualifying in the race. I think we've got a really good car, and I really like this racetrack.
If you have a question for Carl, raise your hand, and we'll get to you. Questions for Carl? Right here, this gentleman here. Take the mic there if you could, please.
Carl, not a lot of talk about Jimmy Johnson's title chances so far the past couple of weeks. A lot of talk about Jeff and Carl and Kevin. How come there's not more buzz, about a 5-time champion?
I don't know. That's I don't know. I'm not surprised that more people aren't talking about him. I think everyone he's been the champion for 5 years now, and I think everyone just realizes that he is going to be tough. And let me put it this way: it won't surprise anyone in the garage, and probably anyone in this room, if he were to be one of the contenders, in the final race at Homestead. So I hope he's not, because he's awfully tough to have to race for these championships. But I think he's going to be tough, and I think everyone just takes that as a given. That's probably where the lack of talk about it comes from. I wasn't trying to be a smart aleck or anything.
Other questions? Go ahead, Shannon.
Shannon Spake, ESPN. So along those lines, does it add a little more weight to this year's championship, being the guy who could possibly end a dynasty? I mean, you look back in history, it's happened before, a championship run where a guy's gotten consecutive championships. But what would it mean to you to be the one who ends the dynasty?
Well, it would mean a lot to to be the guy that ends Jimmy's amazing run of championships. But then there's another side to that too. It's whoever wins the championship this year, if it's not Jimmy, has to win the next 5 to beat his run that he just had. So there's two sides to it, and and if someone does beat Jimmy, which I think is as possible as any other outcome, they still have to do it again the next year. The next year, I think he's going to be tough for a long time to come. So, I mean, it's. But yeah, it would be nice to have Jimmy sitting in the crowd while I was giving my speech. That would be great. We've all had to listen to his speeches for a long time.
Other questions? Over here, David's got one. Get the mic there if you could, Nicole. Thank you. Right over your shoulder. Yeah.
David Duke, ESPN.com. Two parts of this. First of all, do you agree the fact that there seems to be almost twice as many drivers with a legitimate chance to win this thing this year as maybe the past years? And with that many drivers legitimately going after it, do you think you'll see more mind games? And since you really guys can't wreck each other on the track, you can play with each other's heads?
Okay, yeah, I think anyone in the chase can win the championship. And if you look at the way the year has gone, people have gotten hot and cold throughout the year. I mean, there's no telling who's going to shine through these 10 races. So I believe it's anybody's championship. as far as head games and stuff like that, I believe from my seat, what I see, no matter what's going on outside the track or in the media, it seems like the guys who are in this chase, I think every one of them is strong enough mentally to just race, and not really have any problems dealing with stuff that happens outside the track. I think they're all really tough, so I don't know if it'll have an impact. It might be entertaining. There might be a lot of speculation. You never know what's going to come up. I mean, we've been racing so hard this year, and so much has happened. But I think everyone's tough enough to keep it off the racetrack. Yeah.
Go ahead, Lee.
Lee Spencer, Fox Sports. Should boys have had it be interpreted differently in the chase?
I think that the NASCAR's stance on penalties and letting us take care of things on the racetrack has been very good. I think they've done a really good job of drawing lines when things get out of hand and letting us have at it when we need to. I think it's been good, and I think it should stay the same in the chase. I think it's worked out really well, and I don't know that there should be any extra scrutiny on actions or anything like that. Do you have a specific instance in mind or something?
No, I mean, just, because it's a chase, I mean, even if not from the officiating standpoint, or maybe from your own, or a little less likely to use the bumper, because
Right.
somebody might come back and you'd have a situation like we saw Saturday night.
What happened Saturday night?
With Curtis and Jimmy.
Oh, yeah. See, I still haven't seen the replays of that stuff and everything, but I think things are different now than they were last week. I think the guys in the chase know that. Last week was last week. We were fighting for 3 points. The guy that won was going to get 3 points. Other than that, the guys that are in the chase weren't racing for the same thing that they're racing now. Or racing for now. I think right now everybody realizes, hey, there are huge ramifications to anything that goes on, and so I think you'll see, at least for the beginning of the chase, I think you'll see pretty polite drivers and a lot more give and take. Just that's self-preservation. I think that's natural.
Go ahead, Jim.
Jim Utter, Charlotte Observer. Carl,
I can hear you.
the first 5 races of the season, you looked like you were in position that you could have won any or all of the first 5.
Which we were.
You were.
We should have won more of them.
You came away with 1. My
Yeah.
question is there anything different today with your team that you feel than you were then? And is there any reason why you don't think you can appear to be that competitive as you were then in the chase coming up?
Yeah, that's a good question. I've thought about that a lot throughout the year. What made us so good then? The last couple of races of 2010 and how good we were at the beginning of the season, and then I feel like there were more races this year that we were the fastest car than we've had in a long time, and we didn't win them all those races for a number of reasons. And then I think in the summer, there were a bunch of variables. Bob talked about it a little bit. We worked on some different things, tried some different things. We had a couple mechanical failures, and then we had the contract talks and all that went into that. You never know how much that did or didn't impact, the way people worked on stuff, or my driving or anything like that. But the good thing is that we didn't keep that downward momentum. We've turned it. And we were really good at Atlanta. We were the best we've ever been at Richmond. We're really fast in this practice here. I think that we've kind of rounded everything up, got our arms around it, and hopefully we're back where we were at the beginning of the season. I feel like we are. I just have to go out and we have to make it happen now. But I don't know if any of those. I don't know which one of those things impacted. If it was just luck or any of those other things. But it did seem like we really lulled for a little while, and then we've come back.
Somebody else had a question. John, right here. And then Mike.
Carl, everyone seems to be shying away immediately from this chat with Jeff Gordon and Kevin. Let me ask you something. Why do you think this issue has taken on legs like a snake all of a sudden? Give me an opinion on that.
Which issue exactly you're talking about? The
Saturday night. The race
I'm
Saturday
sorry,
night.
Are you asking about Paul Menard or?
No. Jeff Gordon and Kevin Harvick, the ending of that race about something happening on the track.
I'm sorry, man. You have to be more specific. Are you asking about Paul Menard?
No.
Okay.
I'm asking about. Yeah, well, all right. Okay. Yes.
Kevin finished first. I finished second. And Jeff finished third. Right? Is there anybody else who wants to talk about this? Because I can't just. I didn't see what happened. I didn't read what happened. I've heard people murmur that there was some issue with Paul Menard. That's all I know. So I don't know. I didn't see it. I didn't hear anything. Does anyone have maybe a specific question about it?
Can I just clarify what I was trying to
Yes, sir.
Why do you think that the issue has taken on legs all of a sudden?
Well, see, what you have to do is you have to tell me what issue you're talking about. The idea of Paul spinning out to help his teammate. Okay. I don't know. I don't know. Has it taken off? Is it? I mean, it's an interesting issue. I'm sorry, sir. I apologize. I don't know exactly what you're asking me. Do you want me to just comment on everything that could be possible with it or something?
John, I don't think he understands your question, but let's go ahead to Mike.
Well,
I'm sorry, sir.
Okay. Mike Muller. I think what he's trying to say is a lot of people in this room don't really understand the idea that a driver would actually spin out, cause a caution to help a fellow driver. That's right. We all know that that's happened years ago and everything. I think that's part of the thing that we're looking at. What I'm looking at, as well as that, is are there secret radio channels out there you guys have that that nobody can hear that you can make suggestions on, or is everything available?
I assume everything I say in my car everyone can hear. Everyone has I'm pretty sure everybody has a backup channel, but I think we program those in our radios. So I'm assuming other people listen to them just the same. I read literally I think one article in passing about Jeff saying that he heard some radio chatter, or had someone told him about some radio chatter that may have, indicated that Paul spun out on purpose to help Kevin. But I haven't talked to Paul about it. I haven't seen the video. I haven't heard any of it. So, of course, that's an option. I mean, that's an option. I mean, everybody has. You have that option to do that. I don't know if Paul did do it. I don't know if he would do it. I haven't heard any statement from him. So, for me to comment on that specific thing, I think would be. I'm not really up to speed on everything that happened.
You don't have secret digital channels that nobody else can hear?
I don't. And once we start the race, I think you have to have I'm not sure if there's an actual rule, but the way I understand it is that we cannot have a digital radio or some sort of scrambled, radio in the car. I think you get channel 1 and channel 2. I'm assuming some people, some media folks or fans don't have channel 2, so they would, to them, that would be a channel they can't listen to, so it would be a, super secret channel or something. Okay.
Other questions? Carl, thanks for coming in, and
thanks a lot,
certainly good
guys.
luck this weekend here at Chicagoland.
Thank you, guys.